Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 essential considerations you need to take into account when you are selecting your social media images. These could be the difference between a successful post that reaches thousands of people to a post that reaches just a handful and really is a bit of a waste of your time doing. So, I'm Bex from Social Media Executive. I'm a social media trainer and consultant, and I love empowering businesses to create consistent and compelling social media content. I teach you guys how to do it. I don't do it for you. So today we're going to think about, okay, there are 3 questions that you should always ask yourself when you're developing your social media posts. When it comes to those all essential images, there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. And these 3 questions are really quite simple and can make a huge difference when it comes to your social media. So if you're watching this live, please do ask me any questions as we're going along. Introduce yourselves, tell me who you are, promote your business. That's absolutely fine. And again, if you're watching this on catch up, if you've got any questions or want any clarifications, just pop a note in the comments and I'll happily answer those. Okay then, so when we're considering selecting our social media images, for me, there are 3 things that you really need to focus on, 3 essential things that you really need to focus on. And the first one is basically ask yourself, what would my audience like to see? Basically, what's going to stop your audience scrolling on past your post? Because we need people to see your posts, stop and look at them. So they've got to be eye-catching so that they stand out in the feed and people stop and look at them. So basically, you need to really connect and think about what would your target audience be interested in? What do they care about? Okay, so that image has got to attract their attention and connect with their interests and their desires. Ideally, you want to be looking at bold, strong colours with a really good caption that connects with your audience. And also, you need to keep it really simple. Any image you're doing, keep it simple. I see so many images that are just full of so much information that it's overwhelming. You've got to grab people's attention with that simple message that immediately connects with them. So that's the first one. What will make your audience stop scrolling past that post you've created? Now, the second one is, would a photo work better than a graphic? Okay. Now, we all have designs that include our branding, that look professional, that look great. But actually, ask yourself, are you more likely to stop and look at an image like that? Or are you more likely to stop and look at a simple photo of something? Okay. And actually, photos often work much better and are much quicker to create as well, a simple snapshot. So really have a think about whether a photo would be enough to stop people scrolling, whether a photo would be enough to accompany whatever message you're trying to get across. Photo with faces work really well because it connects, it makes that human connection. And the beauty about photos is they're very simple. Sometimes we can get a bit carried away with graphics and try and put too much information on there and we can lose the message. But a simple image, particularly if it's a sort of zoomed in image, works really well. Behind the scenes photo of staff can really help to sort of build trust, build that intrigue, and basically interest people when they're scrolling through the newsfeed to go, oh, that's interesting. I never knew that. I never knew. To us, our business is quite boring. We do it day to day. But to others, behind the scenes information, it's really quite interesting, whatever you do. So that's the second one. Now, I know sometimes it can be difficult coming up with these ideas, these content ideas. So actually, at the end of this live stream, I'm going to share with you 101 content ideas. It's a free PDF that you can download. So don't worry if you just think, oh, just struggle with ideas. I'm going to provide a free document for you at the end of this live stream. So do stay to the end and I'll share that link. Okay, so the third one is really think about, does the image match what you're trying to get across? But more importantly, does it also help you to meet your business objectives? Time and time again, I see people chasing a viral post. They'll be going, oh, well, I did a post the other week and it reached 3,000 people. So I do need to do more like that. And so down the road, their business, they did a post and it went viral. So I think I should be doing posts like that. Well, no, you shouldn't. You should never just post content for the sake of it because it might go viral. Because actually going viral doesn't necessarily mean it's reaching your audience. The most important thing is to reach your audience, even if it's just a small audience of 100, and connect and talk about those. So you really need to make sure the image that you matches the message you're trying to get across, and your message and your image together needs to make sure it meets your business objectives. As to why you're on social media, you need to have a plan. It should support what you're trying to say. So the image should be relevant to the text that you're putting in there. The image should reflect your area of expertise in most instances. But ultimately, you want that image to really sort of grow your brand awareness, build trust, or generate leads. Those are generally the three things that you should be aiming for on social media. And that image should match some of those objectives or meet some of those objectives and basically bring you closer to your goal on social media on what you want to achieve. So those are the three things that you really need to ask yourself when you're looking at images on social media. Now, as promised, I'm going to share with you 101 content ideas for free as well, because I know it can be difficult coming up with these ideas. But before we do that, I'd also just going to share a link of 7 big mistakes that people regularly make on their social media posts, because there's a lot more to it than just selecting the right image. So again, here's a video, again, a free video that will give you a bit more information to make sure you don't make those sorts of mistakes. And basically here, I'm just going to pop it in the chat now, is a free download, completely free. It's going to give you 101 ideas for your social media content. So please do feel free to download that, because I can guarantee it is going to help you massively. So please do download this free plethora of ideas so that you're never short of what to post on social media again. Thanks for watching. Please do give us a thumbs up, subscribe to my social media, and I'll see you next week at 12:30 for more tips and advice on social media.